5 years ago, someone asked me to make a tutorial on how to wallpaper a wall. So today I'm gonna be answering this highly demanded question. Okay, you got me. No one actually asked this, but I'm gonna teach you how to wallpaper a simple wall anyway. You're welcome. Now it's time for the good old supply run to Home Depot. Cue the Home Depot music. Home Depot. Materials you're gonna need: wallpaper, obviously, wallpaper paste, paint tray, masonry brush, wide putty knife, extra large sponges, a pencil, painter's tape, the biggest level you can find, X-Acto knife, a painter's tarp, moving blanket, or anything to cover your floor. And one wife. Oh, and by the way, all of the materials that you're gonna need to get this job done will be linked in the description down below for you.
How long do you think it's gonna take us?
If I'm gonna put an estimate on it, 3 hours.
Okay.
Prep work is everything, so make sure to clear out your floor area entirely. You're gonna need as much space as possible to start creating your wallpaper runs. This part can be a little tricky. First, you'll start by measuring the height of your wall so that you know how long your wallpaper runs will be. I like to add 2 to 4 inches to that measurement. That way you have a little bit of buffer at the top and the bottom. And you're gonna wanna lay out a few runs at a time. That way you can line up the designs on the wallpaper and make your cuts before you start pasting. Let's talk wall prep really quick. I tried to explain it in this clip you see here, but it was really long-winded and rambly. Almost as long-winded and rambly as this VO. Anyway, remove all outlet covers and cover your plugs with green painter's tape. Now onto paint. According to my wallpaper buddy that I really respect, you ideally want to prime your walls with an acrylic-based primer. I didn't want to do that because ain't nobody got time for that, and I was on a strict deadline. So to make sure that there's no gunk on the walls that will prevent the wallpaper from adhering properly, we're just going to clean the walls by giving them a good scrub down.
Oh, we are?
Yes, with the magic eraser. So we're going to start at the edge of the wall and work our way out. This breaks convention a little bit because typically you start in the middle of your wall and work your way out on both sides from there. But because this is a pre-measured, pre-cut set of wallpaper, we actually have to start in the corner and work our way all the way to the other corner. So that's what we're gonna be doing with this specific set of wallpaper. But just know you typically start in the middle. First, you're gonna need to dump this questionable looking white liquid, AKA the wallpaper glue, into the paint tray. It doesn't look like the stuff that I've used in the past. If you're starting on the corner of the wall like I am, you're gonna wanna make sure that your wall is plumb. Otherwise, your wallpaper will slowly get more and more crooked with every run. Next, you're going to very generously apply a heavy glop of the questionable white liquid to your brush and cover enough of your wall for your first wallpaper run. Generally speaking, me and my wife would lightly set the left side of the wallpaper first, very lightly, and then we'd use our putty knife or edger to smooth out any bubbles. You will definitely mess this up first round. I'd say don't freak out, but you will, because we did. Now, one thing to keep in mind if your wall isn't plumb, you'll probably have to set and adjust a little bit of your wallpaper on the other wall. In this example, it's the left wall, and then once it dries, you'll then go in and cut it with an X-Acto knife. You don't really need the edger for this part because the baseboard is basically your edge. Next, we're gonna use our damp sponge here to wipe off any excess glue. So one thing I like about this sponge in cleaning it is that I do feel that whenever you brush all the glue off, because you're kind of wetting this wallpaper, it does feel like it helps it set a little better and gets it just nice and crisp against the wall. Okay, 1 down, 12 to go. A couple of lessons, it's been a few years admittedly since I've done wallpaper. A couple of lessons that I must remind myself and I want to remind you of before you get started is that you have a little bit more time than you think before the wallpaper glue sets. I put all the glue and I was like rushing because I was scared that it was gonna dry. But as long as you apply liberally the glue all over the wall and you put the wallpaper on that, you can move it around and slide it around and you have time to do all that. So don't freak out, go slow. Trust the process, it's gonna work. Your first wallpaper run might take you like 20-30 minutes. It shouldn't, but that's how long it took us. But the good news is that after a few, you're gonna get faster, then your runs will take 15 minutes, then 10. We've been doing this now for, what, 2 hours?
No, not wallpapering.
No? How long do you think?
An hour.
An hour? Okay. And this last one, 10 minutes, meaning in 1 hour we should be able to do 6 more and be halfway done.
Halfway done.
Oh boy. You might be wondering if this is really a two-person job. I think if your wallpaper runs are about 4 feet tall or less, you can definitely do this on your own. But once your runs get longer than 4 feet, it really gets way harder to do everything on your own. And keep in mind that most walls are 8 foot tall. And I think at that point, it's definitely a two-person job if you're a novice. Half of this job is smoothing out the wallpaper and getting the bubbles out with your putty knife. So it's really nice to have an extra set of hands to help you through that process. Otherwise, it's pretty easy to get flustered. You know what? To be honest, it is looking pretty dang good in here. Some bumps and some bruises, some uncoiffed coiffs, some wrinkles, some overages and glue. But you know what? It's looking freaking awesome. Check it out.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, mental health check. What have you learned so far as a beginner wallpaper specialist that you could impart on people watching at home?
Have your husband do most of the work.
Okay. 2.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
Especially when your husband does most of the work.
So you admit that I did most of it, because at dinner earlier, you're like, I think I was leading it.
I was directing.
And number 3?
Don't pencil the wall behind it.
That
and
was
forget
a mistake.
to clean it up.
Well, I didn't realize that it would be see-through. So we drew a line. You could see it through the wallpaper. We had already stuck the wallpaper on the wall. It was a whole thing. We had to take the wallpaper off. And
I'm sure it was on camera.
it was. Okay, I'd say, I probably have already said this at this point in the video via movie magic, but take it slow, because you have time, right?
Well, we don't. We're on a literal deadline.
That's
but
true. What
yeah.
time? It's like 10? Is it 11 right now?
No, it's 10.
Okay, so it's 10 p.m.
10-ish.
10-ish. Let's go. I will say, I wish I would have marked this with a pencil, just like a lighter pencil, because when you mark it, you know, basically if I know that my width of the wallpaper is from here to here, and I have a mark, like a pencil mark, that'll tell me exactly how wide it is, and I know exactly how much adhesive to put on the wall here, which would save us a little bit of wallpaper glue.
To be clear, the directions say we should do that.
Oh, do they? Okay, next step, read the directions. We're gonna talk about outlets because this is a little tricky if you don't know what you're doing, which we don't. So you wanna cover your outlets with a little bit of green tape, we talked about that. And then you're gonna have 2 slots on each side of your outlet. And you wanna take an X-Acto, you wanna turn off your power, which we've definitely done. And you wanna cut on each side of your outlet. And typically I would cut here, but I won't need to do that right now because the wallpaper is actually ending right here, but typically I would cut on both sides. So this is my job. This is how I split it up with Ash. And then you'll cut in the middle here with scissors. And that's what Ash is gonna do next. She makes me cut with the X-Acto knife because she doesn't want to get chopped. Which she wouldn't get shocked because we turned off the power, which you should also do because you are smart individuals doing your research.
Kind of like that. And then you can fold up and see exactly how much you need to cut.
And then you want to make sure to try to cut as much as you can around the metal of that outlet. Otherwise, that wallpaper is not going to sit flush against the wall.
And you can't cover up where the screw is going to go.
Correct. And this is what it should look like. We're getting back in our groove. When you're starting in the wallpaper side of things, you're figuring it out as you go, and you get progressively faster with every strip. And I would say the first strip took like 20 minutes. The next one was like 15 minutes, then 12, and now I think our fastest strips are 10, although this one felt like it was like less than 5 minutes. It's like I'm on top of the world over here. Boom. Wow. Wow, we did that in 2 minutes. Something's gonna definitely go wrong because that was far too smooth. No arguments, no degrading comments from my wife. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, that one was really good.
Yep, I spoke too soon. We just had these pieces of wallpaper kind of start to come up a little bit. So what Ash did is she put a little bit of glue on her finger and just spread it all up on there and is using this spatula to smooth it out. And then we're just gonna wipe that off with the sponge. And we should be good to go.
Assuming you have a wall this size, by the end, you should really be putting up wallpaper runs in 2 to 3 minutes. I haven't really done it faster than that, but I will say that had we started at that speed, we would have been done in 1 hour instead of like 5.
Final piece, and it is the trickiest piece because we have just a little sliver of wall right here.
This was our final run and what we were dreading literally the entire time. And for good reason, because we did some pretty janky work on this last run. But in retrospect, I figured out what we should have done. Instead of wallpapering first and cutting the excess last, we should have absolutely cut the excess first and then wallpapered last, which would require a little bit of measuring, but trust me, that would have been so much easier. I recently did another wallpaper project and can confirm that that's the move.
We are the champions, my friends. We did it. Oh my goodness. Look at this wall. Oh, we did it.
It looks really good.
So now that everything is up, we are going in doing some touch-ups. And then tomorrow, which will be in a few seconds from now, thanks to editing, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna caulk all the edges to make it look all pristine and beautiful. We finished the other half. So total, I would say, we're probably looking at 4 to 5 hours for this entire wall. After preparation, after we actually got started and started putting paste to the wall, about 4 to 5 hours for a 20 by 10 foot wall. So 200 square feet, not bad.
And lastly, the most satisfying part, the cleaning and restaging, which takes this from a plain room to a playroom. Wow, what a great play on words. Still got it. I know this is a little different than my usual content, but they don't call me Rob Built for nothing. And as a matter of fact, this channel started off as a DIY channel. So if you want to see more DIY tutorials, please let me know in the comments down below because I'd honestly like to do more. Here's the final product. I think it turned out pretty fantastic if you ask me. The only question I have is, should I paint the walls on each side one of the colors from the wallpaper to make this playroom a bit more fun? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next episode of Rob Built.